Hey guys! Welcome to the channel. This is my mid-year flip-through of my first bullet journal, so let's get into it! This is a Hiraya journal, a local brand that primarily sells dotted notebooks. This has 160 GSM paper, so it works pretty well without bleed-through. The first part of this has my bullet key I made. It's a long piece of cardstock that I folded accordion style, so when I need to see it from a different page, I can just extend it and see it past the pages so I don't need to keep flipping between the first page and the page I'm already on. I skipped the awkward first page because forcing that open would cause some creasing. Then it's the New Year setup that you've seen me make on this channel before. So I'll put up some cards of everything I've covered in the video so far. This is Vaporwave theme. I still remember how long it took me to make all the grids for the spread. Not much has changed since I only use this spread for date reference. We have the measuring guide and the goals tracker. I've gotten some of my goals done actually, most of which is concerning my academics. I've applied for courses and I'll just have to see where I pass. One of my goals is getting 100 subscribers by December, and I just want to thank all of you guys for getting me to 100 subs so early into the year. We get to that this fast and we're approaching 200, so thank you everyone who subscribed. Going back to the topic of the video, there are some goals that would take me the whole year for me to decide if I've achieved them or not, so just gotta wait. As you can see, I've used the future logs. Most of these are just academic deadlines and org work planned in advance, so when I don't have a spread for that month yet, this is where I place my deadlines. I know I've wondered that for bullet journalers before, so it's pretty cool actually getting to use one. I'm happy that it's really simple to give as much space to the plans as possible. I also place a page flag to help me know where it is. The next page is an in-progress year in pixels and my stuff to check out list. You can see that in my year in pixels is mainly orange and red-orange, which means stressed and tired. It's no surprise that it's like that considering most of my year is spent dealing with my academics. Then my stuff to check out list has a lot of shows and movies, but I also have a good amount checked. These are just stuff that I want to watch or people have recommended. I just keep them all here so I can keep track of all of them. Next is my watch tracker and my video plan. The watch tracker has 33 slots, but it's already filled up by the start of March. That's why I have my current watch tracker further down the line. Then my video plan is right beside it. I tend to change up the order of my videos a lot, so I need this to help me organize which videos I'm going to do next. As you can see, there's a lot of corrections. Next is my measure spread. Every other week I have a measure day, then I just write my measurements down. I'm not really on a weight loss journey or anything, I just find it interesting to see how I change. Then the theme plans is a work in progress where I add the different themes for all the spreads I've made so far, so that's until July. The next page is still blank since I'm trying to work on it, and it's basically a memory spread, and I need to log all the memories before I can put them onto the page. Now we're in January. I was really happy about being able to have Fire Emblem as my first theme, but I don't really think I did it justice. I'm really not that happy about my cover for this one since the 2 pages of the cover look so disjointed. But this spread is the one that would start the metallic paint trend in my spreads. Moving on to the monthly, this was the spread that I was most proud of in this month. I like being able to incorporate the in-game calendar to what my spread looks like. I didn't have school yet when I made this, so a lot of the entries are org work and stuff for the channel. I also have this small sticky note on every spread telling me which shows are in progress and I have to look out for. Then the page flag for easy locating. I still don't know how I wanted my spreads to go, so the decoration on these is a bit questionable. This was how I decorated my old planner, just layering stickers and washi tape and other papers, but I don't really think it works in this context since I was just filling in the spreads to fill in the spreads. Aside from the spreads looking a bit chaotic, I really like that I got to use the 3 houses stickers that I bought, though I didn't really have one for green. I was also getting better at arranging and layering washi tape. I also remember how much time making those crests on top took. Looking back, I'm not really satisfied with how I made my habit trackers for this month. It just looks so plain compared to my other ones, but I know I was just starting out, and I'll make a redemption for this spread later on. The actual habit tracker only took up 1 page and I was supposed to make a Japanese writing practice page, but I never really got the chance to do it since I was so scared that my writing would be horrible and it would just make this spread weird. Turning to February, the map spread. I would consider this my most aesthetic spread in this entire journal. I think I owe that to the craft paper I was using. The monthly turned out super nice since this was the time I stopped using the metallic pen for my channel and just used yellow instead. The colors that I happened to pick for my color codes really look nice with the monochromatic brown. It makes it look so fancy. The weeklies look the same. I just have the extra note section on the side that I really like since I can plan things loosely without really assigning it to a specific day. This was the first time I added the quarter calendar too, which also shows the current week. Another first was when I added a separate section for the shows for that week, which is gonna be a running theme for the rest of my spreads. The habit tracker is the circle one I'm going to be using 2 other times. It's supposed to be map themed to match the circle stickers around it. I found this version more cohesive than the design for January, but still a bit disjointed with the random stickers around it. The exercise and sleep tracker look way better though. I thought that adding the outlines to the actual trackers would help keep them separate from the other design elements, and I really like that the landmass being part of the spread, even if the map strip in itself on the side isn't that connected with the landmass, it gives some much needed color and variety. Now it's March, the most out there theme that I have. What I mean is that it's based on someone else's style and not really something I usually make for myself. This is my most drawing heavy spread too. The cover page has a bunny because it's a spread for my sister and she really likes bunnies. But of course, it has the gold accents that I really like. It's the only spread with Chinese or kanji characters as well. Since I'm currently learning Japanese and this is a cherry blossom spread, so I might as well use kanji for the theme. This month was pretty busy since my classes already started. You can see that through the rainbow of highlighter colors. The days with the 3 dots on the corner just mean that there's more to the to-do list than I could list on the monthly, and just to check the actual day for the full list of things I need to do. It was something I needed with how many things need to be done. I also added the release days for the ongoing shows list, which helped in listing them down. The weeklies were the introduction of my timetable setup. This kind of spread really helps me plan out my day, especially when I have to get to more things on time. I just use some washi tapes cut in half to mark out what times I have class in the specific colors to help me out. If there's more details I have to keep track of without really having a document to look at, I just use a sticky note to keep it visible. With this spread, a little detail is that the more you go through the month, the more petals are falling. I'm going to keep trying new designs of habit trackers if I don't really have one that really fits the theme, so this one is just a bar with numbers. I really like the super wide washi, which took up a lot of space since it's also really time consuming to draw the branches with the flowers. The exercise and sleep tracker page was the one I really filled with stickers and washi tape. I don't think there was a way to fit in a branch drawing, so I just went with using the cherry blossom stickers and the washi tape layers on the side, which help add variety and take up more space than just a single sticker. The flower stickers on the right are actually covering up some darker parts of the white tape I used that didn't really fit the light tones of the design. It's less waste of tape to cover them than completely trim out the parts without those darker colors. On to April, which I think has my most impressive cover, but it's also the most time-consuming. I painted the cover black, and even with the really good paper quality, it started warping, which is expected. It took a few days to prep all the elements without even drawing up the spreads. You can check the process out in the upper right corner if you're curious about all that prep. I still kept that metallic paint with silver instead of the usual gold. I really like this monthly since I was using the same pens for this and the March spread, but the colors just feel different. Each spread has these cardstock design panels, which are made then stuck onto the spread, which makes the spread pretty lumpy. I made this washi tape layering on the side just to prevent another lump when writing. I still have my normal timetable design, which I'm going to have until June. The design panels on this one are on the top, which serves as my labels for the day and the date. Then, as an extra indication for the week, each week has a different color that progressed through the colors I used in the cover, which was teal, blue, purple, and pink. The only drawback to the cool design panels was that I had 8 layers of really thick cardstock at the top of each page, since there are 4 weeks and each side of the page needs its own design panel. It made it difficult to write on the earlier times of the day since I needed to write on an angle. Here's the return of the circle habit tracker. It's another spread that I fully painted and added my galaxy technique. I thought it would look like rings of a planet or something. I don't really know if I got there, but I think it still looks pretty cool. To add to the slope, I have more design panels on the other trackers. It still looks the same as usual, but the design panels and the headers bring in the space theme. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the exercise tracker has been filled way more than it was in the past 2 months because this was the time when I started doing morning stretches to help me prepare for the day. This was also the month I added a new watch tracker since I already filled up the one I had. The first one had 33 slots, but then these have 32 per page since I needed to make space for the headers. I also introduced a color key for the shows since in the last one I only had a distinction between shows and movies. Now I have a distinction between weekly shows, binge shows, movies, musicals, and whatever. May was the spread where I had the most whimsy added in. The pink of the opening spread was a complete accident caused by weird printer settings, but somehow it worked really well in my favor. It gave the spread some unity even if the rest of the month wasn't that cohesive. It's also another show theme spread, which was really fun since there were already established things that I could base my designs off of. Then keeping that metallic part going with this copper tape hiding the cut edges and making everything look way cleaner. This spread really allowed me to use as much of my washi tape collection as I could. JoJo is known for the bright colors and patterns and overall just being fun and chaotic, so I wanted to get that feel in these spreads. I would admit that it was time-consuming picking out the tapes and seeing where they fit, but it just came from the April spread, so an extra day of placing tape sounds way better than 3 days of painting. I tried to place as many references as I could to satisfy my inner JoJo fan. The weeklies for this one are a lot more complex than normal just because I put a lot of thought in the colors I should use. I already knew it was gonna be a crazy mix of patterns and colors, but I wanted them to mean something. You can go check out the JoJo video if you want to check out the meaning of each individual tape on the weekly since it's one part of JoJo per week. The habit tracker is a modified version of the first habit tracker that I made, but now I would say it looks so much better. This was where I crammed in as many references as I could with different symbols for characters and iconic imagery. The other trackers aren't as decorated, but I still wanted to bring in the colors and the patterns with the washi tape, but then I didn't have the space to fill it in like the last spread, so I settled for bubbles on the biggest space. June was the return of the craft paper. There was just something so classy about the craft paper that I wanted to use it again. But now for a plant/greenhouse spread. It's just nice and warm and I picked some colors that would also help offset all the green and the brown. I'm really happy that the glass effect using the tape is working. It gives all the containers some extra detail, especially when you're just flipping through. The monthly is the same as usual. You can see my workload ramping down around the last 2 weeks of the month since my classes were ending. My ongoing show sticky note is still here but with check marks for the shows that I already finished. The weeklies are as simple as possible with some subtle additions of the stickers and the small brown boxes. The month was really busy so I already knew I was gonna fill up the space with entries. The habit tracker is another simple one since I was just gonna make leaves going all the way up. As you can see, I haven't been able to sleep any earlier than 2 AM for the past year. The other trackers is another spread filled with stickers. Since there isn't that much space, I really like taking up as much of the space with small items like stickers than trying to fit a full drawing in cramped areas. Even with its general simplicity, I really like that it's green and gold gives off a nice greenhouse vibe. The last month of this flip through is July. I can explain why it ends on July and not June in the upcoming setup video. Along with the map spread, I didn't really try to incorporate any metallic elements in this one since I really wanted to focus on pastels. I did try to limit myself with the color palette with it mainly being pink, blue, and green with black and white. For the monthly, I did my best to differentiate the spread from the March spread since they were both very pink-heavy spreads. A lot of the stickers I could find for my collection were also mainly pink, so I tried to offset that with adding different colors through the title and the grid. There's also 2 sticky notes now since my weekly watch list has increased greatly. From my count, there's 19 ongoing shows in there, and I couldn't write them any smaller so I needed a second sticky note. I'm recording this in July so the spread isn't completely filled in, but the schedule is a lot looser than when it was when I had class. Now is just a bunch of to-do lists like what it was in January and February. A big focus right now is org work since my org has a big event coming up, and this channel since I have more time and I want to prep videos earlier than the week before it releases, which I had to do because school was filling up my time. I really enjoyed the circle tracker for the spread since the more it's colored in, the more it fills in the whole picture of the record player. I'm being really brief with this since you've seen this spread twice already. The exercise and sleep tracker are also being filled in. Since it's my break anyway, I've been using my morning stretching time to also add in a bit more exercise with an extra 5 minutes while I go through my sub box for the day. And that should be it for the first half of my first bullet journal. I know there's still empty pages, but I'm planning to use those for personal journaling and other things I need to prepare for. I hope you guys liked the flip through today. Watch out for the new setup video coming up soon since I thought of a really fun theme for it. How are you coming along with your planning plans for the year? What's your favorite theme so far? Leave them in the comments below. If you found this video interesting, hit the like button, and if you want to see more videos from me, then hit the subscribe button and the bell to know when a new video is out. I try to upload every week, Monday nights at 8. I guess that's all for this video. Bye guys!